Yeah.
I got one more little soundbite, so here we go.
Okay, I'm listening.
Enjoy.
Here we go.
So now you got a pep talk, but sorry, this is our only room to walk. Cause we don't want a drug push, but a bird in the hand is worth more than a book.
And that's 3 minutes done. Hello, and welcome to the Village Idiom.
I am Jurassic Mark.
And I am Skinny.
And here we are for another episode. Good to see you, man.
We're doing it.
Yes, we are. You're looking good. I like the leather jacket.
This old thing?
This old thing. It's like 50s. You're like the Fonz.
I feel like the fonts.
Yeah.
Except when I touch jukeboxes, nothing happens. But
when you go to comb your hair, do you go?
When I comb my hair, I check the brush afterwards to see how much is left behind.
It's coming out. That's very non-Fonzie.
I don't use Brill cream. I use like
Henry
monofoam Rogaine type.
Henry Winkler.
You brought her.
You Winkler.
Anyway.
Anyways, here we are, another episode of the Village Idiom, and I am happy to be here.
Which one are we doing today?
Notice our guests.
Oh, these are
If
lovely.
you're not watching, I'm sure you can hear them every once in a while. We've brought in two little finches.
These finches look like they're in a bush.
You got it. These finches are helping us with our idiom today, and so we're going to do things different. I'm just going to we have our sound bites segment.
Yeah.
I'm scrapping that. I'm scrapping that. We're going to give you one right now.
Okay.
And just throughout the episode, so grab your headphones.
All right, you got it.
And we're going to keep this ball rolling because our finches are a segue into our idiom, which we haven't said yet, but the idiom is in this audio clip right here.
Please don't do that, honey. You know that everything happens for a reason.
That I don't need. That is a cliche. That is not helpful to me. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. I have no bird. I have no bush. God has taken my bird and my bush.
There you go. You recognize that?
No, I don't.
Do you recognize the voice? No? Jim Carrey and Bruce Almighty.
Oh,
He's going through it, the beginning
that's
stages.
hilarious.
Yeah, he's lost his
God
job.
has taken my hand. Taken my
God
bird.
has taken my bird. He's taken my bush.
He's amazing.
And so that is today's idiom, and title of this episode is A Bird in the Hand is Worth Two in the Bush.
The part that I found interesting when I was doing some looky up stuff is how often finances came up.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Finances kept coming up with the idea of holding on to something securely versus running after tomorrow.
Right. And there's the correct usage of it right there, right? It's better to be content with what you have than to risk it all to have something more.
Well, how do you feel then about following your dreams?
I think you can follow your dreams without releasing the bird. Don't you think?
Well, is it then... So some would argue that in order to fully run after something, you're going to need to jump in there. So age factors in with following your dreams.
It totally does. Because at 19, like when I was 16, 17, 18, 19, I was going after music and I could just... Didn't matter what happened.
You were in a boy band.
Yeah, we were touring. We were doing the deal. And it didn't matter that we were making zero money.
Right.
Just go for it.
And maybe that's part of it. Like right now, parts of your dreams that you're like... inspirational speaker, Tony Robbins, follow your dreams, set your heart on it. But it's like, are dreams going to pay my mortgage?
Yeah,
Like,
the bird is going to fly away.
Can I eat a dream?
Totally. Yeah, it's brutal.
This dream tastes like a cloud.
Brutal.
So that bird in the hand, two in the bush for following your dreams becomes tricky depending on where you're at in the cycle of life.
Of course. Yeah. Hang on to that bird. Oh, but you know what? See, I know people who like they have their dream and they won't sacrifice their dream, even though they're married, they have children, they're dying out there because they're going to be a rock star or they're going to be an entrepreneur, but they've got no good ideas, right? And it's like at the same time, like just go get a job. Like hang on to the bird.
Hang on to the bird.
Find yourself a bird.
Reminds me of another Jim Carrey when in The Dumb and Dumber with the bird that didn't have the head on. They taped the head back on. That's like a following your dreams.
That bird in that hand is not worth two in the bush.
Pretty bird.
If a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush, basically the birds in the bushes are half price. I was wondering if anybody's ever heard this and goes, so they're cheaper over there? Like, you could look at it like, if you're a penny pincher, Oh, screw the one in my
You
hand.
could get 2 in the bush.
Yeah, those are half price over there.
It's funny that chasing after some. Everybody knows they got a friend who's like sought after the big dream, and you feel like a real knob. Like you don't want to crush down on people's dreams.
That's the thing, right? You want to be reality check, but at the same time, it's also those guys who end up being billionaires.
They strike it big.
They
and
strike
something-
out, and they strike out, and they strike out, and then they strike it big.
Right. And so depending on like that part of the odds of the equation or what's hanging in the balance, it's like, because you hear these success stories. I was listening to one with Jay Leno. He's like, yeah, I was like sleeping in my car. I was sleeping,
Right.
Sleeping in the back alley of.
You hear that a lot with stand-up comics. They just
And
went for it.
Now he's got like hundreds of cars.
Yeah.
And
And he still sleeps in them.
he could if he wanted to.
Just changes it up every night.
Yeah.
Have you ever actually, I mean, we've got 2 guest birds here, but have you ever owned a bird as a pet or anything?
No, great bird kind of story in that vein. We had a meeting over at my home with a group of about a dozen people, and the cat at the time comes running into the room, right into the center of it all, and drops a bird out of its mouth. And we're like, oh, he killed a bird, and he brought it to us, like, and he's all proud of it.
Right.
And then the bird went,
Yeah, I was just going to say, was it actually
no, it
dead?
wasn't dead. He was just like, he'd caught it and he was playing with it.
Oh,
and so he let it go, and the bird is flying around and all the rest of that. He wouldn't let it go. So we grabbed the cat, and as we're
he still had a hold of the bird.
so at this point,
at least that.
he had the bird in his mouth, and when we picked him up to walk away, my wife grabbed it, and then the cat let go of the bird. She didn't know, and then she kicked the bird as it fell from the mouth of the cat. So she's like, I'm so sorry, everyone. So that poor bird was having a bad day.
So she killed the bird.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So a bird on the foot is
a
more...
cat in the hand with a bird in its mouth is
better-
worth...
one on the foot.
We used to have we have these two birds are kind of new to my family, but we used to have a lovebird, which was an amazing experience. That thing would just like they're known for, they mate for life, but if they don't have a partner, they'll pick a human not to mate with. That's different.
That's
story.
awkward.
I can see the look in your eyes. You thought I was going to say something. No, they just buddy up with someone. So this bird would follow. We had his wings clipped for a while.
Yeah.
And so it would follow me around like a chicken all through the house. We didn't keep him in the cage.
It sounds like a love slavery situation where you've clipped its wings.
Clipped its wings so it follows me everywhere.
to love it, but I've chained it also.
Well, we let the wings fill in, and it flew around the house all the time.
Oh, there you go.
It was actually really fun.
If you love a lovebird, set it free.
Set it free.
If it comes back to you, it wants to mate.
It did come back to me, but we drew the line there.
Yeah. They're cute though, because they'll like pull like saliva off your tongue.
What?
And this sort of thing. Yeah, if you're willing to.
Are you messing with me right now?
If
You're
willing,
trying to get me to go, oh yeah, I did that all the time.
If you just put your tongue out, they'll like pull off the spit as a yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
You
could also get bird flu from it, but
worth it for the YouTube
worth
hits.
it. Think of the Instagrams.
I say, in the vein of Bird in the Hand's worth 2 in the bush, and people just living out their dreams. This podcast is new to us, but we'd like to think it would grow into something. Let's just go for it. Let's quit our jobs tomorrow.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's just quit.
We'll get back to you. You listening? Tell you how this goes. Okay, before we get into the dirty, nerdy
I'm just kidding.
origins,
We're not giving up our jobs.
no, we're really not. Especially if our boss is listening.
We love dreams.
This was not our notice of resignation. Put those headphones back on if you're listening at home. We're going to throw another sound bite.
Absolutely. Play along with us. Beat me to the punch, because I barely know what I'm doing half the time.
This is going back to 1990. Here we go. Listen to this.
Waste makes haste, for time is fleeting. A rolling stone is worth 2 in the bush.
There you go. Little screw up of the idiom. A rolling stone is worth 2 in the bush.
That sounds like a mashup. Auntie dropped an H-bomb early on. This is a
I
family-friendly channel.
Didn't catch that in the
This is a
beginning.
Family-friendly channel, Jurassic Mark.
I apologize for that, but did you recognize the voice? It's pretty distinct.
Didn't recognize the voice, but there's clearly something robotic going on, because you hear that, woo! That
That's
kind of
right.
thing.
That's right. So go with that right now. Answer is
RoboCop
2.
RoboCop 2.
RoboCop 2.
RoboCop.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, RoboCop 2.
Oh, there was a second RoboCop?
I think there's like 12.
Well, I can understand the second one to tie up all the loose ends of the first rule.
Loose ends.
Yeah, all those plot holes.
So
and stuff
he's
that they wanted
basically
you
he
to
had a
fill in.
CP replaced and he's glitching, and so that's why it's a screw up.
I don't remember how one ended. That there would be a need. For
I don't
two.
remember. I don't think I saw two, but
My next one was that iRobot. That's where I was.
oh yeah.
More Will. Is it Will Smith? Or,
Yeah. That's a good movie.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that movie. So let's get into the origins. Did you dig in? Did you find things? You want me to lead this one?
Please, absolutely.
So again, found several things. It all stems back to one thing, but there was. I'm going to start with this because it's most likely not this, but there is a question that there's a slight possibility that this idiom, a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush, is a nod to falconry, where you have a bird in the hand. That's the falcon. That's the predator, which is a more valuable asset and certainly worth more than two in the bush, which would be the prey.
Interesting.
So they do wonder if there's any link to falconry, and back in the day when they would,
When I was doing that part of research, I came across like an old English pub it was the Bird in Hand pub.
Yeah.
And so, and it's falconry, and it's the guy, with his hand with
the logo
the
was
leather glove, yeah,
or signage or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that because it was an English idiom originally, which I'll touch on in a second, but came to America, which must have been them bringing that phrase because that's where the pub in England brought its name to America, and there's a town named after it.
But the British also have, they will refer to perhaps a girl who is vain or ditzy or that kind of, little airheady kind of thing as a bird.
Oh.
Yeah, she's a strange bird, or, she's a lovely bird.
So there's a connection, bird in the hand?
So a bird could be a young woman. Yeah, that you would refer to someone as a bird.
Huh.
So a young woman in hand. But then if he's going to start doing that, you could also get into, flipping the bird. Where the bird,
Right.
where the bird is also in the hand, and the bird is being flipped.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then apparently in some other slang communities, it could mean a brick of cocaine.
Actually?
Yeah,
A bird.
a bird,
No way.
a bird of.
So you're on the more urban side of research here. I've got medieval
She
English.
is-
I've got
she is a strange
proverb.
bird.
This was the first idiom that I found. It was referred to as a proverb more than it was referred to as an idiom. And so the
I got a whole hand of birds.
this proverb goes all the way back to 1450. It was the oldest I found. Did you go back that far?
No.
1450. John Capgraves, The Life of St. Catherine of Alexandria, says it is more, this is all weird, old English spelling, but is more certain a bird in your fist than to have three in the sky above. And so, and then another reference in 1546, better one bird in the hand than 10 in the wood. In the 7th century, there's an Aramaic story that has better as a sparrow held tight in the hand than thousands of birds flying over the air. So it's traveled, or it's just one of those common threads that different cultures can relate to, and it's not.
There's a comparable thing going back to Plutarch. So this would be maybe 120 AD, where he would, in Plutarch's Moralia, where he says, he is a fool who leaves things close at hand to follow what is out of reach.
Yeah, there you go.
The same kind of thing.
Yeah.
Dumping out what you have for certain versus
totally.
the potential of something amazing.
Yeah.
But again, on dream chasing, it just seems that it's you can, every once in a while, there's the rolling of the dice.
You go for it.
And you go for it, and then you see these cases where it pays off. And so it's kind of like that lottery ticket thing where it's this guy bought
it can work.
He got a yacht.
Yeah,
I should do it too.
You know it's possible, yeah. You mentioned the pub that was named Bird in Hand, and I said it came back. So there is a small town in Pennsylvania which is called Bird in Hand, Pennsylvania. And I've been there. I've actually been to Bird in Hand, Pennsylvania. But it's could not be more conservative. This is literally Amish country.
Oh,
Bird in Hand.
like an Amish paradise.
But that particular.
May the bird of Amish paradise fly up your nose.
Okay, I'm gonna come to. What? You're making up idioms. There is a paradise in Pennsylvania, not far from Bird in Hand. So
Funny.
it's also Amish town called Paradise. So in that little, literally, if I have a map here, you can't see. I should probably post it somewhere. But if you started, okay, I'm just going to tell you. Bear with me. I apologize for the the innuendos that is falsely applied to the names of these Amish towns, because it could not come from more innocent. But Bird in Hand is named after that pub, so English people migrated there, literally named it after the pub.
Interesting.
Back home, or at least the idiom that dragged with it.
Pin that. I've also been to the 2 pubs. One
today.
Not today. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. The oldest pub, I believe this one was it in Boston, or perhaps it was Pennsylvania? McGillen's is the oldest, longest running pub in America. Yeah, McGillen's pub.
So you can check that
continuously
off your
running.
bucket list.
Yeah. I went specifically because, and then like the second oldest pub is also in Pennsylvania, the Broad Axe.
Interesting.
Tavern. Yeah. So continue.
Oh, Broad Axe.
Yeah.
I heard that as one word name.
No, continue with your.
Okay, so we did this drive literally on the road. We started in Bird in Hand and traveled next to Bearville, Bare. So a little nod to nakedness there. So
that kind of bear.
Bird in Hand, Bearville,
like Bear.
Bare.
Bearville.
Yeah.
Is it a colony?
I don't know. It's Amish towns everywhere.
Like a bear colony.
Mountjoy.
I see.
Bird in Hand, Bearville, Mountjoy, Lidditz, which is spelled Lititz, and then on to Blue Ball, and then on to Intercourse.
These are terrible names
and
for
the
towns.
final destination is Paradise. Yep. Amish country.
That's clearly seems like somebody was trying to.
No,
let's see how far we can push this before these city names get banned.
They pop up in lists of like funny city names all the time.
But they're all in an area.
But they're all like you could go through
take
those 6 towns.
A horse and buggy to them
in an hour and a half. Yeah, there's horse and buggies everywhere there.
That's funny.
But it's just funny when you put them in order. You're like, man, really? But when you research why they're named that,
Jedediah, I've got a good one.
100% innocent. Intercourse is nothing more than that's where roads all met back in the day. Is like 6 points of roads all meeting at the same place. Nothing to it, but it's just funny. Blue Ball is named literally the guy who started there, put a hotel up, and he put a sign out that just had a blue ball hanging from it. It's just so he'd be different than everyone else. Now the whole town is called
These
that.
are all terrible.
I know. We've kind of derailed from Bird in Hand, but it's just that's. So you were talking about other versions of this. This is one of my favorites. So there's one in German. Der Spatz in der Hand ist besser als die Taube auf dem Dach.
Wow,
not bad,
That's not bad.
Which is the sparrow in the hand is better than the dove on the roof.
Well, is that better?
It depends, I guess, what you're doing with a sparrow. You can't eat sparrow. Why do they keep you? Can you eat sparrow? Why do they keep? A lot of the references were sparrow.
You could eat a sparrow. There's got to be like enough meat. Probably takes a lot of effort to get it down to its.
A lot of people go
parts.
out when you're in the oldest pub in Boston or Pennsylvania. Did you have chicken wings or did you have sparrow wings? Because those are tiny. Another dozen sparrow wings, please. There's the falsetto for this episode.
That's terrible.
Sparrow wings. Another round of sparrow wings for the group. That's on me. Come on, boys.
You can probably get away with pigeon wings then.
Pigeon wings.
Actually, you can just like grab them from off the rooftops.
Those are the doves. The doves are on the roof. Sparrows are in the hand.
It makes. I don't even know if that one makes any sense.
Oh, man. Okay, so one thing we do every week that we can is we attempt to write a joke from scratch based on the idiom or the topic thereof. Did you do that this week?
I had a little something. And because of, Pennsylvania, it got me thinking of that East Coast, Philadelphia, all the rest of that. Presidential stuff started coming up.
Funny.
Okay.
Wait till you hear my joke. We're right on the same vein.
The 43rd president was shooting pigeons with the Secret Service at Camp David.
Yeah.
Blam! Just pigeon guts everywhere. He's having a good time. So
how else are you going to eat your pigeon wings for?
So the president asked, the Secret Service people, like, let's make a game of this. Like, how should we keep score? They'd been doing this before. The Secret Service said, hitting a pigeon is worth 1 point, but catching the falling carcass gets you another point. So the president says, so 1 point for the hit plus 1 for a catch. Yes, Mr. President. A bird in the hand is worth 2, Mr. Bush.
Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to just jump right in with mine because we both used
Really?
President Bush.
That is uncanny.
Here we go. I got to...
Well, you do the 41st president then.
Okay, mine is.
Okay, so at least we're doing different presidents.
That's right. The year was 1987. Two politics buffs were discussing what would happen after President Ronald Reagan wrapped up his 2-term presidency. The first man, a Republican, said, "Did you hear? Vice President George H.W. Bush is making a broadcast tomorrow. I've heard he's going to announce his candidacy. We should tune in." The second man, who's a Democrat, replied, "Oh, no, not another Republican. I'm hoping someone who will make a difference will run. Someone like, I don't know, Senator Robert Byrd." You see where I'm going with this? The longest-serving U.S. senator. The first man said, "Robert Byrd? He might have a pretty good resume, but he's also got a sketchy history. You should just tune in to the broadcast tomorrow, see what Bush has to say." Second man said, "Yeah, there's some controversy in his past, but he's apologized for all that. Besides, what's worse? A candidate who's made mistakes or a candidate who will make mistakes?" The first man replied, "What's worse? A bird in command is worse. Tune into Bush."
There you go.
A bird in command is worse. Tune into Bush.
It's funny.
We both went there.
Yeah, I think that's kind of ironic. Coming to, we don't do politics, but if your name happens to rhyme up with an idiom,
Yep.
then so be it.
Well, before we get into our riddle link,
Yeah.
I got one more little soundbite. So here we go.
Okay, I'm listening.
Enjoy.
So here we go.
So now you got a pep talk. But sorry, this is our only room to walk. Cause we don't want a truck push, but a bird in the hand is worth more than a book.
I don't know who that is. Wait. Let me think. So I'm going to lay out a bunch of names and tell me if I'm close.
Okay.
So is it a Snoop?
Nope.
Is it, what's the other guy with the...
The other rapper?
No. There's three guys. Snoop, Ice Cube, and...
It's Ice Cube.
Is it Ice Cube?
Yep.
Oh! It just screamed of that genre.
Which also is rapping about Bush.
Really?
The president.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Who's the third guy?
Who are you talking about? There's a million rappers.
No. There's three from like that, or at least in my mind, from that common era who were just like, they were on their game.
I don't know. Eazy-E, Ice Cube, Ice-T, Snoop.
Maybe it was Ice-T. Not Vanilla Ice.
Not Vanilla Ice.
Kick it one time, boy!
Boy. That's Flavor Flav. Okay, well, Riddle Link is a game we like to play where we take a 2-part trivia kind of riddle, and it requires a 2-part overlapping answer.
Okay.
So we like to have one for each other. You got 2 for me, and I'll leave 1 for the listening audience, our villegitimate children.
That's so funny. Did we have any from previous weeks where people have...
Oh, yeah. From I got a response for... We're going to make sure everybody gets credit where credit is due. Got a response from our episode of Once in a Blue Moon. So the riddle link there was... this fruity firework was how the Marcells started the song Blue Moon. Mm-hmm. And we got a successful answer from Maniac 36.
Nice.
And the correct answer was cherry... Bomba 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 dan 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 Blue Moon. But Maniac 36 wimped out and just wrote bomb ... bomb ... But we'll accept it. That's a lot of typing. I don't know how you type out all that.
Well, good job, Maniac 36. Okay, so I got a riddle for you for this week. You ready?
Yeah.
The 41st president machetes through thick forest.
Oh, George H.W. Bushwhacker. That is what he should be called.
There you go.
That's what the W stands for.
That's fantastic.
That's brilliant. Okay, so this one that I've got for you comes from another listener. This is a listener who has submitted before. Is
it Dang?
It is Dang Alleno.
I love that guy.
He says we're pronouncing it wrong. I got a message from him. He said it is Dan Galano. Anyway, this goes out to you, Dang Alleno.
That's not how it reads on paper.
Dang Alleno.
There you go.
All right, here's his riddle link for you. You probably keep your spices here with contentment and no risk. You probably keep your spices here with contentment and no risk.
Contentment and no risk. Oh, I would keep my spices in like a spice rack or a rack.
Iraq.
Well, I know it's a little far to go.
But if you want true spices, not this
No.
manufactured.
Well, I'm not talking about like you're talking about that the like Iraq, like the country.
Yeah.
I was talking about the Apple spice holder, the Iraq. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Iraq.
You're only allowed to put certain spices into it, or it
you just
rejects
need an
them.
app. I'd like paprika.
You start shaking it out
Shaking
the bottom.
your boat. Apple's amazing.
The port at the bottom, so versatile. That lightning adapter, cumin, boom, boom, boom.
Just need a dongle for different spices. Spice dongles.
They were a music group at one point.
The spice dongles. We always have some reference to that would make a great band name. Please welcome to the stage the Spice Dongles.
Okay,
you want to hear it again?
I'm gonna need to. I forgot what it was.
You probably keep your spices here with contentment and no risk.
Contentment and no risk. Contentment and no risk. Content and no risk. Spice rack. Contentment. I got nothing.
Yeah, well, the hint is contentment and no risk part is just today's idiom. A bird in the hand.
Oh my goodness! So that first part is wrong.
Yeah.
Spice bird.
Where would you put your spice rack?
I would put my spice rack in my cupboard. Cupboard in the bush?
There you go.
Oh, wow.
He had the answer
Cupboard.
was kitchen cupboard in the hand is worth two in the bush.
Oh, man, that's
Cupboard.
hard.
Kitchen cupboard in the hand.
Wow. With contentment and no risk.
Yeah.
A bird in that. Oh, you know what? I'm disappointed in myself.
Are you?
Yeah. Because it's contentment with no risk.
Is
Yeah.
the idiom. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he worded that very
It was
concisely.
very clever, dang. Dang.
Dang, I don't know.
Well, okay, here's another one.
Okay.
Let's see if you can pick this up.
I'm sure I will. I'm on today.
Hold tight to what you have, because that guy can fix anything.
Hold tight to what you have. I'm going to go with today's idiom. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. That guy can fix anything. That guy, jack of all trades. Is that the thing? Jack of all trades? So
But
it's
it's not that, but you got the... Hold tight to what you have, because that guy can fix anything.
Guy can fix anything.
You were correct with the first half.
Bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. The first half. Oh, a bird in the handyman.
Bird and the handyman.
Oh,
Very nice.
Bird in the handyman. The first half, literally.
You were very clever and on your game.
Fun times. Well, before we give our illegitimate children their riddle link, their challenge for the week, why don't you tell them how they can answer?
Oh, it would be amazing if you could comment send it through directly to the Village Idiom Podcast at gmail.com, or you can drop a post, direct message through Instagram, which would be the.village.idiom.
Yeah, and if you're
for Instagram.
answering the riddle link,
Do a
DM
DM.
us so
Yeah.
that people have a chance.
And then as well, feel free to drop it on YouTube at 3minutesgone.com or youtube.com/3minutesgone.
And why don't we say this for this week only? We'll see how it goes. Whether you're first, second, or last in getting the right answer, we will do a shout out for every correct answer.
That sounds awesome. Okay.
Everyone will get their name read.
Okay, and if you have time over these next few days, it would be so amazing if you would shout out the magic words. We specifically didn't say the words that we like to say and sing the song that we like to sing.
Did we?
We specifically didn't with intent.
That's right. It was on purpose.
Because we are in boycott until you send us your own origins.
That's right.
So
we
you
need-
sing it out.
We need a jingle.
We will put it in.
You can include just the word origins because we've been going origins, or you can include dirty nerdy because it's the nerdy part of the show, the dirty nerdy or whatever you think. Any genre,
You make it, it's going in.
make it. All right, here is your riddle link.
Send them home.
This Amish town, named for an English pub, is Monopoly's most valuable green.
That is fantastic. I really like where it's going. So, these have been the Village Idioms today. I am Skinny.
And I am Jurassic Amish Mark.
L'chaim.
Wait. Here it is in German. Ready?
Yeah. Getting the hand.
This is the bird in the hand in German.
That's 3 minutes done.